Well, good evening, this is Hound Dog Steve wishing you a very pleasant evening. And so this is going to be a bit of a vlog and catch up because a lot has been going on in the last little while. And but first, let me thank all of my subscribers who sent in donations. It was absolutely wonderful. I'll tell you, there was a tear in my eye when I saw some of the things that came in on PayPal and also through the mail. It's really, you know, it restores your faith in human nature when people, out of the sheer generosity of their hearts, see another human being struggling and instinctively want to help. And I think that goes for just about all of us. And again, it proves to me that there are some absolutely amazing people in this world, and never give up hope. Never lose hope. So thank you all again. I really appreciate everything. And I guess the next big update is the dog. Oh my God, unbelievable. So I did have the dog for about 8 hours. He was a really nice dog, wonderful with people, absolutely amazing, great to be around, friendly. Anyway, we go for a walk. We go down, there's a place called the Emily Tract, and it's a hiking trail about 4 kilometers long or something. Beautiful day. So we're on the trail, there's virtually nobody at all. We bump into a family, everything is fine. And then we saw a person with a dog. Well, actually, I saw him first, and the dog, Beezer was his name, didn't see anything. And I think, oh well, fine. And I had one of those, you know, those extending leashes with a kind of ripcord leash, so the dog can kind of run out a little bit in front of you, maybe, I don't know, 10 feet or something. Well, I'll tell you, he saw that dog and just made a beeline. I mean, it was unbelievable. I could not hold on to this dog. He was so powerful. He was going to kill this little dog. It was completely unprovoked. I mean, the dog was maybe 50 feet away over by a tree, and it was just sheer luck that the dog ran behind the tree, and the owner of the dog managed to grab a stick and ward off this dog of mine. I mean, I literally could not hold on to him. It was unbelievable, the power. Anyway, fortunately, nothing happened. But you know, I have a neighbour, they have 2 dogs, one is a Sheltie and the other is a rescue dog. It looks like some kind of lab mix. I mean, this would be like putting someone from kindergarten in the ring with Mike Tyson. Okay, this dog was going to be over the fence and would have attacked those 2 dogs in a heartbeat. So I'm afraid I had to take the dog back. I couldn't run that risk. I couldn't do that to my neighbours because we're on very, very good terms. I love their dogs. And this was such an unprovoked, you know, normally, I mean, dogs sort of, you know, they have that sniffing thing and they might growl and, you know, they want to move on. But this was dynamite. So anyway, that's the story with the dog, and the money went into food. So again, it went to good use, and I thank you so kindly. And I'm still on the search for a dog, so if anybody in my area hears of anything, please let me know, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, it's got to be, it gets along with other dogs is a prime requisite for this situation. So moving on, my shop is opening this week, the barber shop. It's been absolutely incredibly difficult to get any solid information on what the protocols are. I mean, I thought that everything was absolutely by appointment. Well, I went down to First Choice today, and I see that they're doing walk-ins. But the one thing that is correct is that there is no waiting inside the salon or the shop. So everybody had to line up outside. You leave your name, and basically you stand outside and wait your turn. Well, there must have been 12 to 14 people there. Well, that's a 2.5 hour wait to get in if they're going in every 15 minutes. Okay, so I didn't know whether I should do that because, you know, the barber shop is traditionally a walk-in. It's a walk-in situation. But then I'm thinking, okay, so if I can only have one person in the store at a time, and I'm going to have a line of guys who are going to wait 2 to 3 hours, which is more inconvenient? To take a moment to write down an appointment in your diary and know that you'll come in at a particular time and get your hair cut, or stand and wait in line and, like I say, take 2 to 3 hours to get in the chair, and hopefully, you know, I can get through in the course of a day. At least booking means that there is a certain number of people going to be done per day, and so I'm going to stick with that. But the interesting thing was, when I got down to First Choice, one of the women who was in there, now, and what they'd done actually for their social distancing, they'd cut 6 chairs down to 4. So there was only 4 girls working, and one was taking care of the appointments coming through the door. So you can see that they're going to be cutting hair about a third slower than they would normally do. Now, I don't know whether they were offering salon services. Really wasn't interested in that. But, you know, the girl came out and she was wearing one of these paper masks, and I think I showed you, I'll just show you again. This is from the ministry's own website. And what it says, you'll see, it says right here that you shouldn't be using the really good masks, the N95s, because they're reserved for professional medical personnel and frontline workers. So they're suggesting that you use a face covering. And then it says, it highlighted black right there, you can see the line about 3/4 of the way down, that a covering does not prevent you from catching the flu. So why are we wearing a mask? So the absolute incoherence with the information that we're getting is absolutely ludicrous, and that is one of the things that really makes me, you know, very suspicious about this whole thing. And another thing, you know, I just recalled the other day that my health inspector was in last year, around about August, and she said to me, oh, we're introducing some new protocols for next year, contact tracing. And I was supposed to collect all the information, the name, address and telephone number of every customer that came into my store to be handed over to the health department. And yeah, it didn't make much sense at the time, but in light of recent events, it really makes you wonder, you know, did they know something about this? Like, why would you bring in contact tracing right out of the blue? Food for thought. So with that in mind, what I've done is I have purchased one of these little babies. I don't know if you've seen them. They're on Amazon. It was about $29.50 Canadian. And this is, in here, is a Faraday pouch. Okay, so you take your phone and you slide it into that pouch and you seal it up, and you are off the grid. Okay, because nobody is going to contact trace me, but I'd like to have my phone with me. And I don't like being tracked in general. You know, this is a privacy issue. Where I go on my free time is my business. And to feel that I have to be tracked just because I want to have my phone with me when I'm traveling around is intolerable. So now we're fighting back. And here you are, go on Amazon. In fact, I'll leave the link below, and so you can order yours today. And so you will have your phone with you, and make sure that when you open this pouch, you are always alone, away from anybody, and you will find that your phone will immediately come on, and any texts that you've missed will be downloaded, any emails and any missed phone calls, and you can respond to them in your own time. And just explain to people that that's what's happening. And that's why you're doing this, because none of us should be tracked, and we all have a right to our privacy. Now, one thing I should mention is that when you use this, you need to turn off Bluetooth, you need to turn off your Wi-Fi, otherwise it will drain your battery after just 2 hours in this pouch, because your phone is trying to make that contact. It just keeps pinging backwards and forwards because it's not receiving a returning signal. Okay, so yes, turn those off before you pop it in the pouch, otherwise you will drain your battery. So for $30, That included shipping. That was to my doorstep. It took about 2 weeks. There was a little bit of a delay, but yes. And of course, you see, this is also, I want to comment just a little bit about what's going on. Excuse me for the noise there. What's going on down in Capitol Hill there, the autonomous zone, which is a response to a situation of aggravated assault by the police leading to death. And I'm also going to link down below, it is from the Daily Mail, and there is a video on this link. You scroll down a little bit and there's a video on this link of somebody who videotaped the whole thing. And it is pretty difficult to watch, but I think that once you've seen it, your mind will be made up exactly what happened. And so this is our weapon. Okay, you walk around, you have your phone in your Faraday pouch, and we now know from lawyers all over the world. I've seen videos with lawyers speaking about using, and also reading articles as well, about every interaction with the police should be videoed. They are videoing you. You are allowed to video them. Unless you're interfering with some kind of arrest situation or so on and so forth, you can video from a safe distance, or if you're having an interaction, you are completely permitted to video that interaction. And they're not allowed to take your phone. And so this is the way we're going to protect ourselves. And the reason I mention about the autonomous zone and why it's doomed to failure is why we need to take up this to protect ourselves and not to occupy, I think it's a 6-block area, because these people are suddenly going to find out just how complicated our society is, our support mechanisms are. And of course, it's already started with infighting. The two main groups are now fighting for leadership. One of the more violent groups has taken up arms and is now formed its own policing group. But, you know, there are all kinds of atrocities taking place that are not being attended to because, of course, this group is not organized. And I think ultimately what's going to happen, whether by design or by accident, the power is going to go out in that area. And all of a sudden, nobody will be able to charge their cell phones, nothing will be working, no refrigeration, no nothing. And we're suddenly going to see how dependent we are on all of the systems that we have in place. And that is why we need to find a middle ground. We need to find a way to protest in a way that doesn't destroy our infrastructure, because whether you like the powers that shouldn't be or not, it really doesn't matter. Whether you think that they deserve to be roasted, it doesn't matter. We all depend on the same infrastructure. And so this cell phone, with its incredible video and camera capacities, is the safe way to document what is happening and bring it to the public front by social media. You know, if there's one thing that Trump has shown us, it's how to use social media to our advantage. Okay, I think that's maybe his whole intent, was to show us how to bypass the mainstream media and all other restraints by using social media to broadcast ourselves. This is why I have this channel. As flaky as it may seem, I don't know how it comes across to you people, but I am trying to broadcast movement for change in a peaceful fashion, and it can be achieved. It can be achieved because Gandhi achieved that in India a long, long time ago, and that peace is still there. They were never reoccupied. They were never reoccupied. And now things may have gotten more complex as time has gone by, but you see what I mean. You know, we don't need to completely destroy the structure of what we have. We need to rearrange it. Most things, you know, just need a little adjustment rather than the all or nothing For example, you know, the way to get the police to behave as they should, and the vast majority, you know, you don't hear about the vast majority of police, but the vast majority of police do an excellent job. An awful lot do just a good job, but there is a handful, just a handful of cops like this guy. Okay, those are the cops that need to go to Helmand province in Afghanistan for a couple of tours of duty to get straightened out. And that's how you solve this, is you get rid of these guys, and the 80% of really good cops, they form that blue line against these people. Okay, you refuse to go on a shift with them. It's as simple as that, buddy. Just refuse to say, listen, I don't need to stain my record by risking getting in trouble. And you know, the reason they form this blue line is because it's solidarity. You know, your life may depending on that other fellow officer. But I can assure you, and we all know this from experience, that a bully does not have your back. When the going gets rough, that bully is going to be cowering in the corner or running to save their own sorry skin. So I would suggest to all officers out there, link arms. You know who these guys are. You know who these guys are. We all know who they are. Okay? Link arms and refuse to work with them. Because the day of reckoning is coming. This is just a forewarning of what is coming across the globe. You can see these protests are taking place everywhere now. So I would ask you all to remember that and take peaceful action. Carry your camera with you everywhere, and only take it out of that pouch when you need to use it. Explain to your friends what's happening and suggest that they do the same. That way, contact tracing just doesn't work. Nobody will know where you are until you take that phone out, and they can only assume where you have been between point A and point B. But there will be no definitive proof that you've come in contact with anybody. So I've got a couple of great videos coming up. I came across an article by Rob Kirawakau. This is the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he is going to give you some insights into some secrets of how to escape this system. And the other one is on modelling, and all of these scientists and so on and so forth who create these models actually without talking to economists. And so we'll see, well, we've seen what the result of that is. But anyway, it's a very interesting article, and it will definitely give you some insights. Well, that's it from me, and thank you very much for watching, and I really do appreciate you coming here and sharing these videos, these ideas and insights with me, and of course all the things that are going on in my garden. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe below, and in the meantime, this is Hound Dog Steve wishing you a very pleasant evening, and we'll talk very, very shortly. Take care. See you now. Bye.